Welcome to the quarterfinals of the fastest chaos with the Deathmatch World Cup 5. The current reigning champion of Deathmatch, FreakinAndy, as the Bulgarians in the orange. And then in the teal corner to the east, we have Nili, the DM beast from Germany. And tournament hosts playing as the Teutons, starting with 2 stables, 2 racks, and not many buildings placed. But I noticed that with Nili not he only places buildings when he needs them, I guess. Whereas most people already lay their layout. FreakinAndy laying a TC maybe a bit very comfortably early here though. I'm not sure if I like this town center, but normally when castle structures like siege workshops first, mainly in this matchup, only 2 crepos at the front and a mix of racks and stables to start with. This will be very siege onager micro heavy war. A relatively even one as well. Now that Teutons also don't get Treb and it might be like a 50-50 war with quite similar civs. Something you might consider for fair civ system as well. What is the hero? The hero is dead. So we won't matter. It wasn't that strong because we've got Eco Kitty 1-1. Teutonic Knights are unkillable without CA from Bulgarians. That is true. Well, they're killable siege onagers, but there's a matchup where I would really like to see cavalry archers from the Bulgarian. I completely agree with you there, Gandhi. It doesn't look like your teammate does think that way, though, as FreakinAndy has not placed a single archery range yet. Teuton Castle should control the game. Nunes, after losing to Burmese Cav Archers, big fan of Cav Archers now. What teammate? Aren't you teammates anymore? Preparation partner for last World Cup? Aren't you both amigos? I mean, you guys are changing teams too often, okay? Let's say a friend. No, it's not in Amigos, but it's my duo for 2v2 Empire Wars. Yeah, so it's obviously your teammate. In a lot of stuff. Only him, you're always an Amigo. Yeah, friend is fine. But he's also always an Amigo, independently of what he's doing, and we should probably focus on the game and not on what the relationship between Ganji and Andy is. Looks quite even. There's a lot of siege snipes. The ETK don't seem that OP if Andy's microing the SO now. Even though he lost quite a few to the Paladins before, so it looked like the Teuton Paladins were doing better than the ETK here. With a little bit of a conic raid there in the back. ETK hard countering those units for sure. And I mean, that is kind of the best front shield for the Bulgarians. So it is worthwhile for the Bulgarians to go ETK. And no, I don't think against two-handed swordsmen are good against ETK. ETK just have more attack. Both have armor. The Teutons still have more armor, right? It's 13 armor versus, I think, 8 for the Bulgarian two-handed. And Nili is making progress. Kills the castle in the middle. We do have a quite sizable gold pile in the middle of the map. Didn't talk about the map too much. It's like 2 wood lines separating the players a little bit with 1 opening area. So the perfect staging ground for siege onagers firing at siege onagers and siege onagers firing at units. So if you are here for the onager shots, you've got your map. Alistair doesn't understand why the Teutons play so aggressive. Is that aggressive? He's fighting in the front of his base. Nili's also the first one to macro behind here. Getting the farm numbers up a little bit quickly. Andy's base does look quite underdeveloped, I have to say. But that was some great shots for the Austrian. fucking two-headed swordsman ETK order, don't wish. I like that. Now better engagements for FreakinAndy. KG is better for the DM World Cup 5 champion. Well, Bulgarians don't get bombard cannons, so they don't really care. Not getting bombard cannons is probably an advantage against Teuton castles. And I'm obviously joking a bit, but the Trebs don't run into them at least, right? Annoying thing about the Teuton castles is that they outrange or have the same range as bombard cannons. Since the Bulgarians are likely to push with Trebs anyways, they will probably take this castle down and push it very successfully, but the ETK might get some nice fights here. Siege shots not really connecting. And he's trying to go heavily for the forward gold, almost lost half of his villagers there to these two siege onagers forward by Nili. Also a good feature for the Teutons, obviously, that they have ironclad on their siege onagers, so they are more resistant to melee attacks, and with how they are playing this matchup, we are only seeing melee attacking units. And yeah, the lack of CA is really surprising to. Yeah, but you could defend the Teuton castles with bombard cannons and bombard cannons for siege. True, we're also not seeing many bombard cannons by Nili, which is surprising because he's normally a lover, big lover of bombard cannons. But as we are pointing that out, he is adding them, and I think they become a bit more worthwhile while the Siege count goes down. Then it's less chaotic, and the Siege count seems to already be a bit lower after the starting gold is burned. Only 2 relics, and it does look like they were in the middle, and Andy snatched them. Andy does have more middle control. 2 to 0 relics. But Nili is the one pushing, and these bombard cannons are firing on the traps. The hoods are going in, and the self kill from the onager. The bombard cannons might have even survived because of ironclad. The hussar isn't doing that much damage. Can be easily out prepared, but Nili don't kill your old bombard cannon again. But he doesn't. And he gets the trap, I wanted to say. Well, he gets the trap with the trap. That works as well. Really very compact base in this area. It's 34 farms on it, so does have a food advantage here. And I think a food advantage should be quite good. As Andy will run out of meat shield, probably means that Andy can push the castle. Well, he only has 1 bombard cannon and 1 trebuchet, and Andy does have a big gold advantage. As Andy has been also taking the middle gold. Nili does still have gold to mine, is adding more farms, getting set up properly. And I think this one is looking good for Nili, guys. I think I like Teutons overall a bit more. And after making this defense happen, Nili has taken some good engagements. Both are quite far from pop. Pop doesn't have that much space to develop the eco, but it should be enough to go to 200 pop. It's not that narrow. He loves some good bombard cannons, but he first them with skirms, not helps. Well, skirm bombard cannon is not an army comp. I don't understand how that even works in RM. I mean, the opponent makes hussar and you're dead, no? It definitely doesn't work in DM. Every Civ gets good enough cap to deal with that. Not every Civ gets hussar? Yeah, you make light cap and deal with it. Melee light cap deal with that. That's still the worst cap in the game, no? Incas don't get hussar, yeah, obviously. If gold has run out and you're playing against mesos, then I guess it's an army comp. Gets 2 quite big ifs though. But, I mean, in this case, I think help bombard cannon is completely fine. As long as Andy makes a CA switch, then Nili might want at least to mix in some skirms. Teuton scouts would deal with melee light cap, that is true. Who deals with these sea predators going in? Nili does with his bombard cannons. I guess the bombard cannons too would be the better answer than Nili, but it sounded better to say Nili, as I think Nili is about to take game number 1 here, and the DM World Cup champion might be in some trouble in the quarterfinals. I mean, it's only game 1, but he even lost the game to GLX Rusher in Clash of Titans earlier. He was fine though. We really need that Andy fine emote for Andy's stream. General Andy just needs way more emotes, but he's already told me earlier that he knows that. And this is not fine for Andy. Andy might say it's fine though. I would have to watch the stream back. I don't think it is. Nili is getting the gold. Nili is nicely dodging the onager shots. Almost walked into one during, I was about to say that. And Andy's trying to get creative with some cutting on the right side. The post push is failing though. Good reaction by Nili to instantly put a trebuchet there. The Elite Teutonic Knights are going in and they aren't dealing with the SO, which means some wild horses might die. And it also, in the end, gets the SO, and I think Nili defended the right side. So we switch back to the left side battle, where some SO are trying to use the distraction on the right to get some shots off, but I think the timing is a bit not perfect, right? Because the right side is dealt with, so if you want to learn, if you're Andy and you want to play like Hezi, like how Hezi beat Nili in game 2 there, you want to have your raiding distractions and during that snipe the army. Andy a bit here had his raiding distraction, Nili dealt with it, and then he was trying to snipe the army, so the like ping pong army play so that your opponent doesn't pay attention to his bombard cannons wasn't well timed enough, and the Hippo gets the W on game number 1. Something forward that probably wasn't on the most people's minds, but strong Hippo, Teuton castles were good, and in the end, the classic Hippo unit, the bombard cannon, gets him the first victory. And Alistair is rich again. 400 kills for the Hippo. KD very even. And the economy ahead, like a little bit for Nili, but I think the main story here, faster food adding. Something I really didn't think I would see on Nili. I've been characterizing Nili as microing a lot and being slow to add farms. And therefore rather prioritizing micro over macro. And this game, he out-macroed FreakinAndy. Also collected more gold. This is like the important quest. Wood, yeah. Wood is easy to get. Virgin number exactly the same. But I'm really impressed, like with like this micro every war and Nili adding farms quicker. I think that's a good sign for Nili. That is great. That's also a feature I've been criticizing of him in the last sets a bit. And like otherwise he played great, but slow farm transitions, like it's hard, right? It's a prioritization question. Micro is macro in there. And he leaned on the other side. And this means he can adapt to also lean on the macro side. And that makes him a more complete player. Nili wins with Teutons against Bulgarians. Yeah, then they pause the game and would talk to an admin, preferably not to me. Let me check it out. When we extra clarified this. Let's take a look. Hope I can see it. Okay. So this is the map. What's the problem? Four versus 5 gold. Is it? 1, 2, 3. I see 5 here. Pile-wise, we're at 25k. If we count those as neutrals. This is 32. Getting all? This one is 7. One is 6. It's arguably a bit easier to get for Andy. Maybe this 7k is supposed to be a neutral one. Let's see what the others say. Not optimal to do it on stream.
No. And I'm a bit further to the east. So you might get a re into water map where he is kind of dead. I don't think he's dead necessarily on water.
Yeah. I think, like, if you want to bet on the map, we should redo the bets. Because 7k gold more, and they likely share these two, right? Could be game deciding. So yeah. Andy said it's an admin read because I said it's an admin read. Yes. No. That was me. Oh, I have to check if it's 5 minutes. Who was right? Yeah, true. That's the problem with decisions, they can always be wrong. And the next game, let's watch it. Welcome to game 2. We've got Nili as the Turks and FreakinAndy as the Gujaras. We do have a wild map here. I like the map gen more. At least like in general style-wise. I won't start to count goals every time. The process is players ask and then we decide. That's what the handbook says. We've got Nili as the Turks. We've got FreakinAndy as the Gujaras. It is an interesting matchup. Water should be good for Nili, but Water isn't really in the middle. So the rush should be great for FreakinAndy. Gujara Camels having more armor, and the Turks can't really do too much against that. I think quick archery ranges probably needed. We also do have a caravel, and seemingly you can travel over this, so getting docks up would make this a lot better for the German here. First, he does need to get a castle up against the rush, and this rush isn't that strong. Kill 2 villagers to 1. And we have docks coming up on the right side here for nearly 5 docks. Apparently, you can also add docks on the ice. Yeah, with these lines, you can usually do that. So Nili would have had a bit of a closer dock spot. But the good news for Nili overall here, I think with the civilization, Turk with the great cannon galleons, and all the upgrades you need, is that we do have a little bit of water. Even though Gujara's also a strong water civ, with most of the upgrades needed, including mainly heavy demolition ships. And let's see how much the camels can do. Galleons are out for Nili. Is he housed? No, just not that many docks up. Getting more docks there. And the heavy demo shots about to come in. FreakinAndy going back with the camels. Fleets for both. Heavy camels on the hill, at least getting less damage from the galleons. Combat cannons shooting from behind by Nili. Okay, we were not playing this with the HA, we're playing this with Janissaries. Yeah, a lot of people thought I should play that matchup too. Worked for me to play here there in a somewhat similar matchup, but I can see the point for going heavy Janissary. The problem is it takes so long to get all the castles up, and maybe it doesn't enough pop, and FreakinAndy could overwhelm here. Massive camel army there. HP though on the land army is kind of similar. FreakinAndy with less demolition ships, and Nili gets some great demo shots off, and therefore pushes FreakinAndy back. And this might have been the moment where Nili has defended the set there. Great shots on the camels as well. This is looking very good for the Hippo. Once again in the defense, still quite even game. But I thought Nili could die here. So, really, really nice moments for him. I like that castle a lot by FreakinAndy on the hill there. Extra damage. Castles have good damage output against both. No clue if Gujaras have heated shot. Usually not the first question you ask. Thank you for the follow. Demos are being dangerous though. Oh idea how this goes on water? I think they have similar normal units and cannon gain non-elite versus amazing Turk cannon gains. I think that's why it's better for Turks. But I'm not sure about shipwright. I think neither gets it. Or Turks get it maybe? Both have heavy demo. Land Gujara should win? I would favor them, yes. Yeah, Land Gujara easily win because of Alien Archers. Turks don't have a counter to Alien Archers. But the center of the map that they're fighting over right now is water. And there the Janissaries against the Camels seem to do quite good. And I think with this much water on the map, Elephant Archers, as we saw a bit in the Gujara Berber game, but there was also especially Berbers against them in the last set, were a bit of a trap. I think they are still on the match-winning land unit here, but the problem is, I really like the stock by Nili. Because that is also securing this side kind of, or making it too dangerous for Alien Archers to be used there. Nili get the market. Nobody took the market. Well, that can't be. We don't see it in the statistics anymore. Ah, it deactivated them. Looks like Andy got it. I always change the overlay for check like this. Maybe you should change the hotkeys. But looks like Andy got it, which he should, I think, right? He has to normally, I don't even, he sells food? He sold both now here. He also sold 1k food after that. Normally Gujaras want to sell wood, but this is quite heavy on water, so you don't want to sell wood, so I guess you sell both of it. That's what Andy did. Cannon gains. No, it's actually bombard cannons working away on this castle. Where the Turk bombard, the Turk cannon gains. I guess Nili wants to use bombard cannons rather, because they can also path on land, and therefore escape from demos. Push further in here later on. Also see some teal at the top, which is a Nili Hussar raid. That castle hasn't been placed yet. There is one castle around here. Andy looking for some fish in the back as well. And game is still quite even. But Nili has the bombard cannons, so maybe he can pull it off again. I think Andy needs somehow to get an angle that he can attack from and save from demos, or win water, and then go Alien Archer. Because Turks don't have a counter to Alien Archer. Still plenty of gold on the map. Really big gold pile for Andy, so he can't complain this time. Toxic skirmisher, yeah. And I guess they do have heavy scope, I think, yeah. But Gujara Alien Archers might struggle a little bit, but so many units counter heavy scope that it doesn't really matter. You just need any other unit in front. For example, Sar, which are cheap. Treb defense here against the bombard cannons. I really like these towers. I wonder if Gujaras get heated shot. Maybe somebody in chat knows that. Well, the Shrivamsha riders when you need them. True. They could also be really nice in the water fights. I do like that proposition. Gujaras have heated. Thank you, Gushlivat. Makes these towers a lot more worth against ships. I guess I could check by the bonus damage here, right? Ship 23. And do we have Turk Tower? No, they all went down. I can't if they have it, but FreakinAndy is raiding the wood line. The bombard cannons now have a lot of new targets, which means their bombard cannon balls won't fall into traps, won't fall onto castles, as long as he's shooting towers. And shooting towers with anything always feels a bit bad, because towers aren't really the strongest thing in the game. They're just the most annoying thing in the game. So you always feel bad when you kill them, and you feel bad when you don't kill them. And I think that is the reason why people don't like towers, and why I'm considering of banning all towers again in my next DM turn. Should we run for the right dodge the explosion from demos? I don't think so. Maybe they used to. But our fools even more strongly than we about them, it seems. In RM, I want to do a tournament that bans skirmishers. Archers might be too good then, though. So it doesn't really work. The game would just end included. Demo fights, TC gets lost here, and the hammering a castle up. That is the relics. They are 2-2 split. So even in that regard as well, we are fighting in the middle of the map. Military numbers, very similar. Demolition ship shots could be big here. Not that big. Very glad we didn't allow immediate demos in the game, by the way, I think. If, as much as we might like the shots, they are too OP. And also very glad we didn't allow Monaspa in the tournament. Just by not allowing uses, 2 problems solved. Oh boy, all the demos explode against each other. Yeah, think of these maps. Immediates would have been super weird to gamble with, and Georges as well. That was a huge trade for Andy. It was a lot of Nili demos, I guess, right? Population for Nili is 160. Is Andy winning this with, like, I think the less strong fleet here? I want to know if Gujarat has shipwright. I think Turks have it. Even though I kind of relativize shipwright a bit there, it is important. Gujarats have shipwright, no dry dock, so their ships are a bit slower, I guess. Turks, I think, have everything, right? Turks have everything. No. Dry dock and shipwright. So Nili should also have the faster demos then. Should actually be quite helpful. And for that, Andy has been getting better shots, so kudos to Andy. Nili is at least going up in population again. Raids have ceased. This is a very raidable eco by Andy, so I think Nili should raid more, but Nili bit back to his old habit, right? Is down on farm count heavily. 19 farms to 35. Big advantage for Andy on the land, and now Andy has also more water. This might be Andy's game. It's constantly fighting an arrow fire, and now also lots of bombard cannons going down to that demolition ship shot. I think there was like 4 bombard cannons dying there, which is giving him a quite tough time there. Keeps in front. Now Nili has some arrow fire as well. And we can check if Turks have heated shot. They do. Also 23 ship damage. So, assuming Schlitter was right, both have it. I should just massive fleet at his dock and push the transition from water. His docks are here. Problem is, there is gold here, right? Well, that's about to run out, though. There is also gold here. Would mean that he will lose all his structures. And I don't know if he can afford to lose the gold axis. Also gold over here. It's kind of similar to all of Andy's gold being here, right? So giving up the position might be something he can't afford. I mean, I agree with you that ideally he should do that, but I don't know if Andy is allowing him to do it. It does look like Andy isn't allowing him to do it, and it does look like Andy's getting the position anyways. Using that many non-elite cannon gains is interesting. But I guess you can target fire them now, so they are a bit better than they used to be. And the Trebs just go down too quickly against the bombard cannons. And his back point is on fire. Oh boy! Let's fucking go, Nili! Genius move! How did he get here? There's like 4 docks there! And Canagayan's killing stuff. And he isn't that bit. Oh yeah, that's a lot of farms emptied. Okay, this is nice. I don't think it's nice enough. I love the move. And it is doing damage. But the problem is, it isn't really doing damage to the gold and wood eco. And I think the gold and wood army is killing Nili right now. Also the stone army is killing Nili right now. 12 towers now on that central hill. Really nice move by Andy to make this castle and fortify like the middle control here. That is, I think, the point that is winning him the game. That really nicely there. It's actually closer to Nili. So yeah, Gujaras have the easier early game. I think there is an argument to be made that still there would have been a good chance of Nili getting this. He lost 30 wills. That just means he has more army though, right? His res aren't looking too bad. My ears. Game was stuck there for a bit and then all the cannons fired at the same time, at least in my ears. Whew, I have to recover from that. I don't think Nili will recover from it. Nili is doing some raiding, but there's still some castles that are too far away from the cannon gains. Well, is that one under fire though? And one is under fire. He did lose a lot of farmers, but also did a good job reproducing. Andy with 110. I have to protect my ears this time. And he's lighting farms in the middle, which is like the safest space right now because he has towers there. He's killing all these farms. Nearly managed to get most of the gold. There's still like 1k something over here. And the big problem is just the army hasn't died, right? 7 cannon gains, 23 galleons still for the Austrian, while Nili is a little bit out of ships. If we don't count the back pond, which I think doesn't count for the central fight of the game. And yeah, Nili calls it here. Andy won the water battles, got better demo shots. Even with the worst KD, but I guess the towers were really doing it. I guess the KD is a lot of raiding, right? These guys got a lot of kills. The Hussars, Nili was raiding more. And he was pushing more. And quite impressive to win the Navy battles with Gujaras there. Which is like, it's mainly, I guess, an equal Navy. Turks just have better cannon gains. And Nili was using the bombard cannons rather anyways. Thank you for the follow. Drew Point and also the sociologist earlier. 623 to 601 KD here. Economy very similar, a bit better for Nili. And this was another really good and close game. And I will be joined in the booth now. Yeah, it's too much to do during the set. I can't take care of predictions. You have to ask the mods. And that is... So good Jaras. Taking out the Turks here. Turks quite late pick for Nili. I'm not used to Turks being that late in the pick, but there was so many guts. And... Oops, where do I unmute? Hey, yo, welcome in, man. Hello, how are you doing? Mr. 22, aka Kellen with first name. Welcome in.
Thank you.
Were you able to
Thank
catch a bit of
you.
the set so far?
Pleasure to be here.
Oh boy, I see the next Civs. Spanish versus Berbers.
Oh,
Would be a
yes.
grandiose water
This is going
fight.
to be interesting.
I think on
This
land
is
it's
gonna be
a bit
interesting.
one-sided, maybe.
Yeah, on land it should be better for Berbers. It's still really tricky though. Spanish could have pretty good compositions, right? Like Paladin, Halb, Rams could be really good against the Berbers. I think it depends, but water, yeah, Spanish have a big advantage. Are you in the game yet?
Should hopefully be loading in. I'm currently trying to fix the score, but I was a bit busy last game with happening. I heard something of the game. Oh boy. I'm at 2 minutes 19. I don't know how it jumped there.
Okay, I'll try to catch up to that.
And we have a land map with a market in the middle.
All right, I'm at 2 minutes 20 seconds, pretty much spot on.
3, 2, 1, let's go. And we also have Praetorias. And he trying to rush, adding in Halberdiers as well. What do you think about the map and the situation here, Mr. True?
I think the map is really good for Nili. I'm almost a little surprised Andy didn't call the re on it, but in my opinion, the Spanish are one of the best civs when there's water to be played. I think it's also kind of funny that Nili's trading with that mark with the trader instead of deleting at the start. Nili's actually ahead on pop, which he shouldn't be, right? Like, halbs are created faster than camels. You've got Spanish villagers that build faster. Generally, Spanish are just faster at the beginning, but so far, Nili playing really good, really hot start here. Things are going really well for Nili. I'm just afraid for Nili to maybe commit too hard to fighting early on in the middle. He can't afford to lose too much because
just lost a lot into those Halberdiers, right?
I don't think he lost that much to the Alps. You're at 430 right now, right?
Yeah. Pop changed a bit for a second, but yeah, Nili's KD is better, and he's trying to push this castle here. Did Andy delete the Praetoria? Looks like it. So he should have had even more pop than at the start.
That is a little odd that he deleted the
maybe
Praetoria.
Nili just had more pop because of the Praetoria then.
I don't like that Nili dove in there so much. Oh, you're right, though. That's exactly why Nili's ahead on pop. Yeah, that is it. Nevertheless, Nili taking pretty good fights here. The Berber Camel Archers are starting to get messed up. Andy diving in deep with Paladins. Looks like a really good fight, though.
Great fight for Andy. That's a great fight for Andy. Maybe Nili's always cursed when I have a co-caster, as we said at the start. Oh, it's looking good. Yeah, Nili's microing back. And squished him nicely between the buildings there until the Onagers come. They are progressing. Yeah, but
pretty aggressive push here. This is kind of like I expected. And he's going to try to all in this. He might be able to pull it off. I hope Nili recognizes it. Like Nili's instinct right now might be that, okay, I'm losing really bad. But if you look at Andy's resources, right? Andy is all in here completely. Like Nili just needs to like pump out everything he can right now just to survive this, and then he'll be in a golden position. Especially
the all-in is, I think, how you
this.
have to play the matchup, though, right? I really like this push from Andy, like with a lot of Halberdiers. I think early on, Berbers can struggle a lot against Halberdiers, and you kind of want to use that window because the later the game goes, the easier it is for the Camel Archers to dominate in this matchup.
Totally agree with you there. But I like the way Nili is so far handling it with the Camel Archers not losing too much. He needs to focus. Oh, he took a big shot there.
You jinxed him! You jinxed him again! Oh, 2 gigantic shots for Andy. Nili at 50 population. Now the traps are everywhere. I think those were game-ending shots, baby. This is looking very dire now for the Hippo.
Yeah, this is brutal. Brutal for Hippo here for sure. I don't know if he could come back. He's got to keep making hussars and trying to he should be aiming those castle. Oh man.
Yeah. If those shots
it worked for
doesn't
that-
happen, maybe Nili holds it. But also there's no bombard cannons out really to push the Trebs back, right? So he's gonna lose a lot of castles. Whew. Brutal, Andy.
Yeah, that was. I feel a little bad there for Nili. You look at the resources at the end. He still. It's like it's hard to. I know he doesn't know it, but I mean, Andy just didn't have anything left after that, right? Like, he didn't even really have an eco. Yeah, I guess he was setting up some eco, but he still didn't really have any kind of economy set up in the background. Nili with tons of resources outside of gold and stone, which I guess are pretty critical, but nevertheless, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think Andy really had all that much left. He had 23 paladins. He was going to lose more to the castle fire. 51 halb. Just so many Trebs. 13 Trebs is insane. Wow.
It's like the typical Andy push though with the 13 traps, right? He does that a lot, or he's really good at pushing with like mice traps and carrying it through.
I think Nili did not expect that, or didn't realize just how deep Andy was into that push. Like, I don't think he realizes just how at the limit Andy was. Like, you basically killed 20 paladins and 50 halb, and you've won the game. It's not that hard to do given how much Nili had left. So I don't know. That's tough, man. That's really tough.
Yeah, but it was really strong play by Andy.
So strong by Andy. I mean, that's really what I'm trying to get at here. Like, for Andy to just all in that hard, take that big of a risk, and for it to pay off is impressive. I mean, that is very dominant way to play. It has a little bit of vibes from how, a couple World Cups back when Viper did like the all-in with Japanese. I think he only had like 6 fills at the end of the game against the code and won. It's a little bit like that. Crazy.
I'm at 15 seconds in the next one. If you need 30 seconds, then I'm gonna step away for 30 seconds.
I need the code, so.
Oh, I don't have the codes. I'm using Spec Dashboard. It's on the front page, on tournaments page. Pretty sure you'll figure it. I'll use those 30 seconds to be right back.
Sure. Well, I suppose other people are probably watching, wondering what's going on. Gonna give you guys a little sneak preview here. It looks like we got Andy with the Goths and Nili with the Vietnamese. Vietnamese Goths, that's really tricky. I feel like a lot of people think of the Vietnamese as being weak to the Goth because the elephants are countered by the halbs, the cheap halbs from the Goths, while at the same time the castle unit, the Rattan Archer, is countered by the Huskarls. But a lot of times, if you are the Vietnamese, you can make battle elephants with champion combo and also make Rattan Archers. It's a little bit of a nicer combination. You do have bombard cannons similar to Goths. You both have onagers. So on the siege front, you guys are about equal. In the end, I think it's going to come down to how well Nili's able to pull off having Rattan Archers behind battle elephants and champs. You probably can win battles after the beginning. At the very beginning, Andy should have the advantage, just being the Goths, a faster civ. But they don't have treadmill cranes, so we'll see how that plays out. And it looks like Otter is back. I think I heard him.
I am. Are you at 15 seconds?
I'm at 1 minute, so you could catch up to me this time.
I'll go there. Let's see how Nili builds his base here against the Goth Rush. Close castle to the town center. But rather open and no villager on the castle yet. Gets me a bit nervous. And I also have to pay attention to when I'm at a minute. Nicely saved. I'm at a one. Where were you at exactly? I'm at 1 minute.
103. 103.
Okay. I'm there. 3, 2,
right.
1. Let's go.
Go.
Okay, what do you think about the base layout here from Nili?
Risky. Pretty risky. And I like the archery range by Andy.
Oh,
I think that's a clever move. I do like that Nili's trying to rush a couple Cavaliers that might be able to pick off some critical vills from the Goths who need to get all those houses up really fast. If Nili's able to actually micro that, that would be really, really well played by him. Hard to do that, though, when you're getting rushed by the Goths. Looks like Nili's really rushing up that castle.
Yeah, he has to.
Secures him.
That's really important.
Like
with
Nili
this space building, you really need to put all there. He's putting 3 on the next one as well now. Now the Horse Skulls are coming in, but Andy rather assembling than rushing. But I guess there's a castle now, so he kind of has to do that. Oh, Nili is killing a lot of the house vills in the back from Andy.
He's gotten 2 of them. But more than that, Andy has been, kind of stuck, not being able to build more. He's been trying to run the vills a lot. And not being effective at those HCA either. Ended up being kind of a waste for him.
Yeah, I think they were against the clump, right? If you cast a clump or something as the Vietnamese, then you really need these CA. Obviously not making more now that Rattans are on the field, I think. But the Horse Skulls are getting some nice damage in on the left when Nili is trying to get his 3rd castle. 8 to 9 villagers right now. Also testament to a decent Cavalier rush. Nili with at least 3 kills against the Goth.
I really like the way Nili's setting up here. If he's bought himself some time with the villager picks there in the back of Andy's base. He's now got 2 castles, about to be 3 castles up. Chants are going to be really strong here for Nili. Nili's position seems really nice here.
That's so weird that he made 2 ranges making skirms against Goth. I mean, it's Nili's love for skirmishers that we previously discussed. We have another skirmisher fan in go-casting. But I guess it was because he saw the CA?
I don't know. This is going pretty well, though, for Nili, man. Like, look at those battle elephants fighting Huskarls. It's like mostly Huskarls left, and they are just chewing through them. Oh, but now getting some helps in there, starting to work out for Andy again. Andy is going to do similar to last game. Really big all-in here.
Trebuchet is already coming forward, siege workshops, bombard cannons. And yeah, the infantry mix seems to be working against Retta and Elephant. Just Goth thing to do usually to mix everything up and hope you counter everything at the same time, right?
Yeah, this is really tough for Nili. Oh man, this is... I don't like the way Nili's grouping up his units. They're kind of not fighting very well. The elephants are moving around a lot, not actually fighting.
Yeah, also finding damage in the back now.
Patrol. Maybe a little bit of panic setting in for him, trying to get a hold of the Treb.
Oh, don't get it. And the bombard cannons that Trebs are firing on Nili doesn't have siege to defend this at all. Maybe some Vietnamese don't get heavy scope, right? So you needed onagers maybe? I don't know.
Just really don't like the way Nili's units are moving around. They're not fighting. A lot of his units are just kind of jiggling around his base without actually doing anything. It's only his castles really killing the units.
That's Ghost for you, Alistair. And the GG's called. Oh, wow. Ghost still able to overwhelm. And he makes a nice bunch of armies there. The start looked decent for Nili with getting those 2 castles up. But I think the 2 archery ranges, that was valuable building / then unit production time that could have been champions or elephants. Maybe would have looked a bit better then as well.
Oh, that's tough. That's really tough. Dang. Yeah. Oh, this is best of 7. For some reason, I had it in my mind where this is best of 5. Wow, we
No,
still got at least one more
quarterfinals.
game.
No, you're not only
Okay,
coming in
okay.
for an 8-minute game. Don't worry. Or for
This kinda
two
felt like that for a
10-minute
second.
games. I mean, maybe it could be a third 10-minute game if we're unlucky, but let's hope not.
Let's see. I need to get a hold of their draft. I haven't even looked at their draft yet.
Goth winning
Okay, I
against
got it.
Vietnamese. And Andy with a solid lead in the set now after like losing game 1. They're probably already in the next one. Nili's always fast.
Let's see. What did Nili win with?
Yeah. What did Nili win with? I can answer that part. He won with Teutons.
Okay. The wrong one was linked in Wikipedia. All right. Let's see. Won with Teutons, lost with, I think I caught the end of Turk, and then Berber, and the Vietnamese. And for Andy, he's won with Spanish. He's won with, or lost with Bulgarians then, right? Yeah. And then won with, no, was it Jars he won? That's right. Okay.
Good
Then
Jaras he
with
won, yeah. It should be on
Goths.
screen on my stream.
Oh, okay. Boy, this makes it tough for Nili. If I'm Andy, I would be tempted to just play the Koreans and go for the win here. But oh boy, that is so tricky.
Koreans, Mongols maybe? Mongols have maybe a window there. But not really, no. Mongols just lose that. Koreans, Dravidians just lose that. Yeah, I don't see... I guess you YOLO Chinese and hope to win a water map, maybe? Can't think of much better things to do there.
Yeah, man, that is so tough. Or you take risk and go Dravidians and hope that Andy just plays like Inca or Bengali. Even Bengali would be tough though for them, but you can win with the Dravidians. I think it's pretty much everything except the Koreans. So, like, it's so hard because if I'm freaking Andy, I might want to just give. I might want to just play a weak Civ here because I'm up 3-1.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. Yeah, you kind of don't want to think finishing the set, maybe? That's not how you think, and that's, I think, the right way not to think like that, but...
Yeah, because you want Nili to play his best Civs now against your weakest and secure the win late. It's such a mind game. But you could always take that gamble. Like, if the thing is, Andy has two really good Civs left, in my opinion. Koreans and Persians are both very good.
Yep. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Bengalis for FreakinAndy in the orange, and we've got Nili with Dravidians. And you said you liked Nili's start.
I just like that he didn't make any houses at the very beginning. He went straight into barracks, which is a good thing, given that you already start with that tent, is it? Army tent, which counts as a house. Pretty sweet. I
think 4 barracks might be a little bit too less. I hope he has more.
Yeah, that's definitely not enough. I think he's banking on his fence holding up. Without realizing that it only has 1 HP, maybe that could be a problem. They
There's a
both
lot
were
of
trying
these
to go
fence
for a middle
generations.
castle. Man, I don't think going for a middle hill or a middle castle fast as Dravidians is a good idea here. You're lacking Trimble Crane.
No, you're too slow. Yeah, that's kind of
Bengali have the
suiciding
extra
one
2
way.
bills.
It's just like a second castle next to it. He's like, I have Treadmill Crane. This will finish before yours.
Yep. Pretty smart, I suppose. I don't think Nili should be committing so much to this. He's committing a lot, but like, what does the middle really give you? I'm
I mean,
almost
you have
happy if I'm Nili for Andy to like commit tons of castles to it, because then you could just move around the map. All the golds are really in the north. You have one on the right. I don't know, man. It seems like Nili's maybe overcommitting to the middle, thinking that it's more important than it really is.
There is a gold on it. There is a lot of map control, but I think the way to get the middle here with Dravidians is not to rush it. And the middle to get it is to mass your big Halberdier Siege Hydra army with maybe, but probably no Elephant Archers in this matchup. I kind of like that Nili is not making the Elephant Archers. That's something he's been doing really well with Dravidians in matchups where it doesn't make sense to not make them. But if he has a big infantry SO army, that should be able to deal with the Bengali army even uphill, I think. And eventually then he gets the once his army is complete.
So far, you know, man, I can't say enough how much I don't like that Nili's fighting uphill, but at the same time, those siege onagers putting in some good shots. Woot Steel on those halbs is definitely going to help him as well. Pretty effective fight actually so far for Nili. I gotta hand it to him. That's going better than expected. Making now bombard cannons, which are maybe getting a little too far forward, but need to get back here, Nili. Oh, I'm rooting for Nili here, given that it's 3-1. We want to see more games,
Makes
of course,
sense,
right?
but there's a big army coming down the hill for FreakinAndy, Elephant Archers, and Battle Elephants in front. The typical Bengali combo, and I don't see Nili's army. Where's Nili's army? Didn't mass enough, so it was too weak and took the engagements.
He queued Trebs when... Oh, wow. Nili calls it.
Yeah, he thought too much about castles on the hill. Yeah, also the trap queue. Yeah. Oh boy. The first 2 games were really good. The ones you weren't in the booth for, I'm sorry.
Yeah, didn't go well for me. The last 3 even were all not the best games. I think Nili called it way too early in these games, especially this last one. Like, again, Andy with no resources, and yeah, Andy's gonna push into your base, but I mean, Dravidians I think are really effective, especially late game.
Yeah, I mean, think of how AR12 won that game against me. Like, there wasn't only the front of his base gone, there was this whole thing, everything, the whole screen I killed. He just ran somewhere off to here or here, rebuild, and then had an unstoppable Dravidian army. Losing the base with Dravidians if you have res and can get villagers outside is fine sometimes.
Yeah. Man, that was brutal. Well played by Andy.